शुरू का जो हसल होता है ना, that's what I want to know. आपने कैसे किया?
खुद जाकर डिलीवर किया हुआ है.
How did this idea came to be in this?
Anybody is listening to this podcast and if they have an idea in mind, please go ahead and try it. Your brand is more like a baby.
What are the numbers?
Last financial year, I think you closed about.
Tell us a bit about how do you create SOPs and what all goes into creating a franchise?
Sitting in an air-conditioned office on a leather chair, you can't make SOPs.
You know the latest paneer controversy.
There are two types of things. One is
Top categories which has helped you going from one outlet to multiple chains.
In entrepreneurship, you don't look at today, you look at tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow is going to make your life. And this is the first time we are announcing it. Actually, yesterday night I thought I will, which goes first, let's see.
Framework.
Hello friends, welcome to another episode of BrandTalks. I am your host Vineet and with me is
Sadhana. And I'm so excited for this episode because पिछले कई सारे episode में बहुत different founders आए, partners आए. But in today's episode, I think for the first time on BrandTalks, we have two people and they are business partners as well as life partners. So I'm very excited to welcome Geetika and Gaurav from Mad Over Paranthas and Pakoras. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
How are you feeling today?
great.
Always great.
Always good. So, whenever we start this podcast, a very quick intent setting that I do, where I kind of tell people, what is this podcast about? You know, why are we doing this podcast? We, as I was telling you today while we were sitting in the conference room, that we run a marketing agency, and every week I receive so many calls from so many founders, you know, young budding entrepreneurs who are trying to do some business or the other. They're trying to code, decode something or the other. And that is where this entire idea came to me and Vineet, that why not to start a podcast series where we do the chit chat and you guys bring in the real information, real data, real knowledge. And कभी कोई भी बात किसी भी इंसान को हल्की सी भी सुन ले वो और उसको एक्शन ले ले तो पॉडकास्ट पूरा सफल हो जाएगा. That is the idea that we got started with, you know. So before we deep dive into the conversation, no more parathas and pakoras. Very quick introduction about both of you. Very quick, like under a minute. Who are you guys? What's the background? And what is the brand about? So, yeah.
So, my name is Geetika and Gupta. I am the CEO and co-founder of Mopp Foods Private Limited. I have another designation where my designation is Chief Pilot. I think the Chief Dreamer will give his introduction where he dreams and I ensure I make it fly and, you know, reach the pinnacle of success, and sky is the limit, as you say. And we have multiple brands. One is Mad Over Paranthas and Pakoras, one is Mealy, one is Sassy Indian, one is Yum Biryani Bowls, one is Khichdi in a Bowl, and now recently 2 more brands have come into our portfolio, which are the Swiggy private brands, and this is the first time we are announcing it. Actually, yesterday night I thought I will put a LinkedIn post that these 2 brands are under our portfolio. I am yet to announce on LinkedIn.
Congratulations.
So which goes first? Let's see. So yes, and we are, you know, the whole objective is to make people eat and enjoy some pyar ka tadka wala khana.
Yeah, lovely. Gaurav.
Yeah, so I'm Gaurav Gupta, co-founder Mopp Foods, and as she mentioned, I am the chief dreamer. So I make plans which she helps me implement, or rather she leads and implements. But yes, been part of this journey with Geetika for last 6 years almost. And it has been beautiful, although I'm a mechanical engineer by background. And I think in our candid conversation earlier, I did mention that I was into oil and gas industry earlier. I'm still part of oil and gas. It's just that it has changed from natural to cooking oil and gas. So just a bit of us. Yes, a lot of new things are happening. Geetika mentioned about the 2 new brands coming in. Plus, there is also another larger collaboration that we have had with an organization called Cuisina based out of Bangalore. So we are now a bouquet of brands, and we're looking to take our brands to 200 kitchens across India.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think so. This is the first place where we're talking about. So it's where we're talking about Cuisina also. So we are very excited to be a part of Cuisina's team, senior management team, and we're looking forward to take their brands and work with them closely to take all the brands pan India.
Wow.
Wow, that's
I
so good.
I already have that goosebumps वाला feeling हो रहा है मुझे. And I'm realizing बहुत कुछ पहली बार हो रहा है, you know. Your announcement with Cuisina, your announcement of those two new,
Brands.
the brands. You guys coming as couple. So बहुत कुछ पहली बार हो रहा है. Okay, so congratulations for all the good
Yes.
new things that you guys mentioned. And we really wish a lot of success and, you know, many more
All
such news.
gratitude and thanks to God. Yeah.
So now, let's get rolling. And as we move more into the brand, while I was researching about you guys and we were thinking what kind of questions we can bring in so that the listener, if they have that kind of question in mind. But one thing which came up and I was very curious, in Indian market, if you see, always foods like pizza, burger, sandwiches, wraps, rolls, they were doing like awesome on the delivery, right? Do you think now these local foods, these comfort foods from Indian homes, घर का खाना भी नहीं, these, you know, the pakoras, the paranthas, are they going to be doing big on delivery in Indian market? Is it a trend? मतलब सच में ऐसा दिख रहा है? Are people going to go beyond biryanis for these food delivery thing and all that? Is it something which you can see because you guys are in the industry? या अभी भी एक आधी ब्रांड है जो बड़ा होगा एंड नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
You'll take
So
this one.
I'll tell you what, see, the food is something which is evolving year on year,
Yeah.
right? The trends change, as you mentioned. There's a lot of new things happening. A few years back, let's say if you go 10 years back, we didn't have any biryani brand. We didn't have any momos brand. All we had was pizzas, burgers, and your fried chickens, all imported from the West. Now you have homegrown brands like Wow Momo, which is scaled momos, which is again a Himalayan food, but scaled across the country. You have some burger brands scaling Indian flavored burgers. You have biryani. You've seen how it has become the number one seller on both the platforms, both the delivery platforms. So there's a lot changing in the food industry with respect to how Indian consumer is and consuming food. We never had any Indian snacking brand a couple of years back, few years back. Now we have samosa brands coming up from South India who are scaling across India. So there's a lot that is happening. So yes, there is going to be continuous evolution of Indian palate. Paranthas and pakoras is one category which has not been explored by anybody, and that's the reason we saw that gap and we wanted to capitalize on it and see if we could make an impact. Doing well, and we see that there's a huge opportunity ahead of us. Likewise, there could be new categories, snacking categories, even meals which are focused on Indian food specifically to grow. And I also see that some of these brands will also become international over the years, not just remain a national or an Indian brand. Some of these will also go abroad. There are cloud kitchen operators like who have gone abroad already and taken some of Indian brands and operated there in outside Indian borders. But nothing of that scale which we can mention as of now, but that will definitely happen someday. You will see now brands going from India to other countries and making it big. Like you have seen McDonald's, KFC and Pizza Huts and Domino's make it big coming from West into our country.
Wow.
You mentioned ghar ka khana. So yes, and you said maybe not, but nahin, it's true. Because now what the culture is that both the husband and wife are working, children are busy, and then there are more nuclear families. Population is going down as well. Everybody's so busy. no longer, just hear me out, anybody wants to spend 2 hours for a 20 minutes meal. If I want to have rajma chawal, I have to plan one day before because I have to soak the rajmas overnight. But if I want to have rajma chawal right now, then we have to order. So the trend is changing. So we have a brand called Mealy, MEALY, your everyday meal, which is your ghar ka khana, and we are touch wood, thanks to God, Jai Sai Ram, Shukrana Guruji, that we are doing so well. Mealy is doing so well, and we serve ghar jaisa khana, rajma chawal, kadi chawal, bindi, chapati, bharta. These kind of meals, which is not fancy, which does not have lot of oil, which is like homemade food, and we are selling so well in bowls, in thalis, that ways, and that is ghar jaisa khana.
Lovely. And that's rising. That's
rising.
going to be
That's
on
rising,
trend.
yes. And the thing is that if you think of it, as Geetika mentioned, a lot of people are now becoming more and more busy, less of time.
Yeah.
Consumer has always had this in their mind that outside food is unhealthy, right? And that perception still continues, although that's
Deep.
changing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
although it's changing gradually. So it's actually down to brands like us to actually pass that message to consumer that if you consume food from my brand, and that's how brands are built, right? It's trust and faith of the customer. If we are able to pass that message to the customer that if you're ordering from my brand, it is safe and made in hygienic conditions, and it is as healthy as you would cook it in your own kitchen, that consumer would eventually order from you. So and that's something which we have seen in our brand Mealy, where we have healthy repeat rates. We have seen customers ordering their 50th order, 60th order. We're getting like large orders for 100 bowls, stuff like that, which does show that there is consumer who is ordering for us regularly. And that all comes from the trust and faith that customer eventually builds on the brand, that he can consume this food regularly.
So I usually say that if I can eat myself and feed my son from my own kitchens, that means the consumer can trust me and have faith that whatever we are making is made in a very hygienic way and fit for consumption without adding any preservatives, without adding any artificial flavors.
True.
And that is why we call it your everyday meal.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So mostly people think that you need to be in tech to make a lot of wealth. What made you think to come in this and selling parathas and pakoras to become wealthy? Like, how did this idea came to be in this?
So I think so. I'll take this one.
Yeah,
because
please
this
go
is
ahead, and I'll
the-
add something on top of it later.
So, for us, first of all, everything is data driven. So, for Gigi and me, we do not do things because I like it and I want to do it, or he likes it and he wants to do it. So, we are very data driven people, thanks to our background, our education. He's a numbers guy, I'm a marketing person. So, we always believe that research helps. But to get to that stage, first the idea has to come. So we were in Dubai for a very long time. My son is born and brought up there. And then when we relocated to India, I wanted him to try some authentic Indian street food, which is paranthas and pakoras. And when we tried ordering, I was surprised we could not find one single brand on the platform who could deliver this food to me in a hygienic way in the comfort of my home. And if I want to go and eat it in a restaurant, either it is very expensive for 600, 700 rupees, or it's available on the street for 60 rupees, which I'm not sure because we were, not sure whether it will lead to upset stomach or something. So I said, this is a huge, huge category, and every Indian from any part of India eats a bread, which is your paratha. Everybody eats pakoras with their chai or even with your drinks at any point of time. Even what is a fried food? It is pakora. So and then I started understanding the pain points in this category. So सबसे बड़ा pain point was that this is not a delivery friendly product. It does not remain in its best condition when it's delivered. Either you make it fresh at home or you go to the market and have it. So the product gets soggy, the product gets oily, and it goes like kach. So, and then I started working on the solution, that if there is a problem, there is a solution. That's what I learned from my father. And so every problem has a solution in the world. So, and then it took 9 months, and in 9 months we developed a product which, you know, does not get soggy. Very proudly I say, is not oily, remains crispy to your doorstep. And these are the fusion crispy pakoras from Madover Paranthas and Pakoras. We designed our packaging of parathas very uniquely. We applied some physics, some mathematics, some chemistry, some physical chemical properties of materials. So, and we actually did that how to ensure. So even a paratha, how much steam has to go out, how much steam has to be retained, how much, so that it will not become soggy. I won't say the paratha doesn't have to be very crisp. It has to be in a fresh state, so that it's not soggy and it's not very hard, and it's fantastically fresh at the point of delivery. So we serve our parathas in a pizza box, and the number of holes are differently located, and because of the physics and the angles we've put together, and it comes in a nice packaging where you open it, you have your curd, you have your gravy, you have your butter, you have your pickle, and everything comes like a fancy airport tray. Like when you're traveling by air, you get it in a tray, and all your things fit well in the pocket. And that's how you eat, and you dispose of the box very safely, so it's environment friendly. So this is how we developed a product which was delivery friendly, and that's how after 9 months MOPP was born.
Yeah.
That's actually the story.
Yeah.
But it was not just because I thought that this category will work. So we spent a lot of money in R&D to understand the size of the market, and then when we did that research, I will let Gaurav speak about the numbers. That when we saw the numbers, we said competition aa jaye, jo marzi aa jaye, if we achieve our target, it's just the pie of the whole market size, because the opportunity is not huge, it's humongous. So, if we tap this opportunity, this huge gap where we are trying to uplift the street food into an organized, hygienic, mid-segment target audience, then the job is fantastic. And I will let him speak about the numbers.
See, that research was pretty long back. I don't remember the exact numbers, but if you come to think of it, in India, I think, if I'm not wrong, the figure was roughly about 50 crore flatbreads being eaten, consumed every day, right? It's a 1.4 billion people country, right? So imagine the kind of flatbreads are eaten, consumed in a daily basis, in different forms. Somebody eats a chapati or a paratha or koki or a different kind of flatbread. That's the number. So that's the size of opportunity. Of course, part of it is paratha, but the point which I'm trying to highlight is the consumption of the flatbreads in India in different forms. So we understood that the opportunity is huge, but how we execute is going to be the main factor, right? Everybody has got ideas, and ideas is worth nothing if it is not executed well. So the game is in execution, that we strongly believe. So we started off with a lot of research, as Geetika mentioned, to improve the product. We have done well so far, and we hope that the journey continues, and we're going to take it across the country and make it big.
Wow.
Yeah, and also like with the ideas, what matters is conviction, because a lot of people don't have the conviction to
Correct.
to execute it.
Correct. And to your point about the tech, right? So I think how I look at it is, for me, tech is an enabler. We are into food business, but we can't scale it unless we actually use the right tech to in the kitchen, and also in terms of orders, and in terms of scaling, in terms of data understanding. So tech for us is an enabler. Yes, and it is said that tech is what scales well and scales fast, and that's where you should be. But then you have to be passionate about it. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
And both of us don't have that in us, right? So tech was obviously out for as the main forte. We have always wanted to do something in food. Food is something which we have been always interested, and both of us, we've been talking for years that that we do deserve at least one chance in life to do something for ourselves. That's the reason we both decided to take this plunge.
Awesome.
And I think everybody deserves it at some age, some stage. We started pretty late, in my opinion, although there is no age bar to it. But that was the idea, and that's how food happened for us. But tech is an integral element, and it is an enabler for us to organize our operations, to scale everything.
That's great.
So I will add here that if anybody is listening to this podcast and if they have an idea in mind, please go ahead and try it. You deserve
Yes.
that chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know when will it click or how big or
ऐसा ना हो कि कुछ सालों के बाद लगे कि ट्राई क्यों नहीं
Try
किया.
नहीं
See, success
इसलिए.
or failure is just a byproduct. Actually,
Yeah.
the problem is with all due respect, in our country, failure is actually stigmatized.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is not good.
Not
Which is what actually scares a lot of entrepreneurs from actually taking that bold step of moving forward. I think failure is just a stepping stone in the journey. It's not that we have not failed. I've been an entrepreneur for almost last 10 years now, failed twice, and then eventually we are seeing some success. So that failure is just how you take it, what you learn out of it, and how you take your next venture or next step to ensure that you don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
So in the West, that's not the case. Actually, people who have failed, they are very well valued because of their experiences. Because whoever is looking to hire or work with that individual, they know that he has learnt a lot, and those mistakes will not be repeated. While in our country, unfortunately, it is seen the other way around. That's something which is a mindset change that I hope will happen soon.
Yeah. And I had not thought of this question, but I'm just thinking. You very rightly said in India, this is not normal. I mean, the way failures are seen or taken. You guys, when we were talking right now, you guys were, amazingly settled in your corporate jobs. Leaving that, trying entrepreneurship. So maybe just a very quick one. When did that happen? Like, ठीक है, अब छोड़ देते हैं और कर लेते हैं. Or you guys planned it because you guys are lucky. You are partners. Like we are partners, So like तू कर, मैं कुछ महीनों में करता हूँ. How it went for both of you,
See, I think it was 2010 when I completed my MBA, and since then this thought came to my mind that कुछ करना है. क्या करना है पता नहीं, देखते हैं. But I want to give myself one chance, and of course we have been discussing it for a long time. It took me 4 years to eventually take a plunge, and then also I wouldn't say it was a very calculated plunge. I just was not able to take that step, and as I said, everybody has that scare factor, right? Because you don't know what's beyond that.
उस दरवाजे के उस तरफ क्या
Yeah,
है?
you don't know, you haven't seen it. So it wasn't really a planned thing, but one thing's for sure, that that we had kept some financial backing for us to last a few years of struggle, because that's something which we must, anybody who's doing it should plan, especially because we started late. We started when our son was already 8. Yeah, he was almost 8 at that age. So for someone who is in early 20s, late 20s, it's easy because you don't have much of liabilities at stake. So we had to do that, a bit of a financial planning, which we did. I took the plunge because I just closed my eyes and I said, okay, this is my resignation, I'm going and I'll see. And see, the one thing which I've learned in my journey is that the more you delay your decision, the more hurt you're causing to your whatever cause is, whether if it's to start a business, the more delay you do it, it's going to cause more hurt. So I think that is one thing which I've learned. I took 4 years to take the decision, which only it only added to my age and more of liabilities, right, in responsibilities. So take the decision fast and do anything and everything to make sure that was the right decision. If you keep looking and guessing that what is the right decision, you'll end up delaying it, and a good decision could become a bad decision just because you delayed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a very
well
popular saying, magic is in the thing that you have been procrastinating. Exactly, वही बात बोल रहे हो आप. Very true.
So it was not planned because Gaurav started his first startup in 2014. I was still doing my job, as you said. चलो एक काम करता है, घर
That
चलता
time you were
रहेगा.
in Dubai?
Yeah.
Okay.
So his first startup was in Dubai. So, and food was always a calling for me. So I was very clear. करना है तो खाने में करना है. So I was very clear. So I did not have that, confusion. So if I do something, it has to be in the food industry. So in fact, during my nice rich old days, I was on the other side of the table, where I was the investor, and I invested in few restaurants and bars, and I learned a lot, of course, from there. So food was always something I wanted to do, but when this just happened, when I saw that opportunity, and when the data supported it, and then at the same time I was managing a bar at that time. And I did a QSR course then. I said, nahi, QSR and delivery is going to be big. This is in 2019, pre-COVID, and we launched before COVID. So I said, delivery is going to be big. Delivery is already big outside India. It is going to be, India has so much potential. So let's do something. So I started alone, mad over Paranthas and Pakoras, and then we saw that the product is good. We have 60% repeat rate.
Wow.
In a food industry, 60% is not very easy to get. So, and then we got, one of our advisors and mentors, he came forward and he said, chalo, मैं पैसा लगाता हूँ, इसको scale करते हैं. So when your advisor comes and tells you ki, we will scale this, the kind of confidence, or it's like, your wow moment, that okay, we are doing something
right.
Yeah, something right. Wow. And that's the time, Gaurav also joined in, and let's make it big together. And I always, that is also in my mind, like food was very clear, I really wanted to do something together with him. So meko ye tha, and it used to be like that fancy tale story when we used to go to different offices. Kab hamara office, okay, when will we do work together? So it's
You manifested, it looks like.
Yeah, it was always so many times, at the time when you're just about to sleep, you discuss what you really want. And I used to always say that to him, that I want to work with you, and, and somehow it happened.
Wow.
So that's how that all the dreams
Yeah.
kept coming true. At different stages of life. That's why I have so much gratitude to God.
Yeah,
that जो मांगा वो मिला.
बिल्कुल. और ये कॉन्वर्सेशन हो ही नहीं सकती बिना नंबर्स के. सो आई वुड लाइक टू नाउ कंटिन्यू. 6 साल पहले ब्रांड शुरू किया, शार्क टैंक में मिले. देयर वर सम नंबर्स दैट यू गाइज वर काइंड ऑफ एमिंग एट. फाइनेंशियल ईयर क्लोज हुए, 1 क्वार्टर हो चुका है. सो हाउ वाज योर लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर? व्हाट इज द न्यू नंबर दैट यू गाइज आर चेजिंग? Are you guys now in profit? Because at unit level, at corporate level, so few numbers.
See, in terms of numbers, I would say that at the time of Shark Tank, we had I think three kitchens. 3 kitchens and 3 brands.
3 brands.
So right now we are 5 kitchens and a number of brands. But if we talk about the brands that we started or we conceptualize ourselves, we have 5 brands as of now. In terms of scale, I wouldn't say we have multiplied the number of X's, but we have still done about 1.5 to X. And the point is, it's not always very rosy, right? You plan things in a startup, in a business, you have a plan, but it's not necessary that plan will work accordingly. So when we went to the tank, obviously there was a plan, there was an Excel sheet, there were challenges as well, right? But we went through all of those pretty well. Now is the time, and as I mentioned about our scaling journey, earlier we had thought that we are going to scale ourselves, completely ourselves on our own. now we realize that I think a more collaborative approach is going to be better and beneficial for us, and that's the reason when Cuisina came in and they put in equity in our business. I think it's a great collaboration because they have the scale, they have the real estate which is already spread across the country. We have brands which are strong. We have done well across Delhi NCR. We've recently launched in Bangalore, and we've recently
I was
launched.
about to say, you said 5 kitchens, now it's 9.
Yeah, I didn't mention those. Yes.
Yeah, it's 9.
Yes, it's 9 kitchens.
We
because
opened
have,
4 kitchens last month.
Yeah,
See,
so,
this should be the speed.
so now we are actually opening at a speed of about 8 new locations on a month-on-month basis.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I think as a business, as a founder, you have to take decisions based on what works best, based on the conditions of the situation and the market wherever you are, right? Not based on the fantasies that one might have, that I'm going to do it this way, this is my plan, come what may, I'm not going to change my route, right? That is, I think, in my opinion, that is a bit detrimental approach. You have to be always open to new opportunities, new ways of doing things. Always have a plan, work the plan, but also be open and flexible to change if things demand you to change the route. So it has worked very well for us, the collaboration that we've got, the investment that we've got from Cuisina. So not just 5 brands, now I think we are close to, if we talk about the collective brand portfolio, we are close
Around
to 20 brands.
Yeah.
And as I said, we are adding about 8 month on month. One thing which I would mention is that, I really liked one catchphrase that Amit Jain had popped up, right, during his Shark Tank days when he was one of the on the panel, that pehle banda fir dhanda. So that was a very, very good catchphrase, and I think that is what has been my learning, that whoever you collaborate with, always focus on people. Even in hiring, I focus on that. I tell Geetika that when we are hiring anybody, always look for the attitude. Because you can still coach and teach skills,
Correct,
but you cannot
absolutely.
teach attitude, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's something which has worked very well for us. In even looking at collaborations, looking at partners, I think the founders at Cuisina and us, we've gelled very well. So that rapport works very well. The team that we have now at MOPP level, when we started, so we've built a very strong core team now. That's again based on pehle banda fir dhanda. That is something which we have never compromised only because this guy has done very well. Just based on that experience, we hired somebody. We have actually had people who've grown from the bottom and learned with us, and now they are sitting at the corporate team as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
how it
something which
should
is
be.
very
Yeah.
important.
So I loved every part, but I will go back and circle back, because the question was, what are the numbers? Because some might. So how did you? On what numbers did you close the financial year?
So last financial year, I think we closed about close to 10 crores. And when we went to Shark Tank, I think at that time we were at about, that year we had closed at about 7 crores.
Oh, lovely.
So yes, about 1.5x is what we got to. This year, of course, it's going to be a different approach, but
Amazing.
we are expecting at the brand level, we should double up.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'll give you another approach. Like Gigi said, you keep reinventing and learning. You should be open to ideas. So as an entrepreneur, I think one of the biggest asset one should have is welcome change with a smile.
Yeah.
So I really find it, really disturbing when entrepreneurs don't like to change and they get married to their own style. So a suggestion to the questions what you get, that be happy with one marriage. Don't try to
Yeah.
get more marriages in your life.
Yeah.
More marriages only create chaos. So be open to change, be open to ideas, take it with a smile. So I'll give you an example. When Shark Tank happened, that night we did not sleep. The day we had a program telecasted. Puri raat, we were getting, orders and we were
The day it was aired.
the day it was aired.
Oh.
We did not sleep for a minute. Our phones did not stop ringing, and we were
We
getting
were
on.
getting calls from all across the world also. We got calls from US, Singapore,
What for?
Australia.
Please, can you send one aloo
Franchisees
paratha?
also. Franchisees and some people, even sometimes now we get calls from random places asking for parathas to be delivered. With due respect, some people don't understand that every business doesn't have presence in every city. When it's
So that time we were not open to franchisee opportunity. So we got more than 100, numbers and calls that we want to open a franchisee of Mad Over Paranthas and Pakoras, and we politely declined. It's very difficult to say no to money.
Yeah.
Some businessmen came with, briefcases of money to our office. Listen, I want to do this. So we said, no. First of all, we are an audited firm. We can't do any of it. And secondly, we are not ready. We're not yet ready. See, we're not a D2C business in the way that pack kiya, shoes ka business hai, pack kiya, orders aa gaye aur humne deliver. It's a challenge because we are restricted through geography. Like even through our kitchen, we can deliver up to 7 kilometers. Beyond 7 kilometers, and it's too long a delivery. And Zomato and Swiggy or the platforms, they don't support delivery beyond 7 kilometers. But now, like Gigi said, Gigi did not elaborate. But now, like he said, now we have changed. I won't use the word pivot, but I'm just talking about how change. And now we are, ready. We have really, really, really worked hard the last few years after we saw that opportunity after Shark Tank, that how we can scale up, how we can scale our brands, how we can ensure that the brand will be successful if somebody else will manage it, and if Geetika is not managing it. So that let go, or creating SOPs, I was mentioning it to you, creating brand modules, creating how to work, what to work, letting your secrets out. So we made a book on SOPs, which is almost 200 pages right now.
Yeah.
And now we are open to franchisee opportunities.
Wow.
So we have signed up a couple of them.
Wow.
We have opened one franchisee already.
Oh,
So this is also
congratulations.
the first time we are telling this. Again, the first time. So we've opened
Bhagwan
up-
ji has sent you here for all the first time announcements.
So we've opened our first franchisee,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is in Gurgaon.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
And we've signed up almost to 15 across India.
Lovely.
And now we are open to all franchisee opportunities. So if somebody wants to open a food business, please contact us and we can give you the franchisee for our brands.
Lovely.
So, which is, all our brands.
Lovely.
Which is,
See, I think franchising is a great opportunity, right? If you talk about all the bigger brands from West, whether it is Domino's, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, they've all Subway, they've all scaled through franchising only, right?
True. That's the model.
Only thing is that it is something which has to be executed and managed well. If you have to make sure that you have controls in place to ensure that the franchisees are operated as a typical company-owned, company-operated store will be operated. So that's something which is the big success factor in a franchisee. So yes, something which we have been resisting for years, and now we have actually opened up our thoughts about it, and we are scaling through the franchisee route.
Awesome. This is amazing.
Tell us a bit about this. How do you create SOPs, and how, like, what all goes into creating a franchisee? Like, tell us a bit about that process.
So, one most important thing, when you are making SOPs, you have to be doing that work with your own hands. Sitting in an air-conditioned office on a leather chair, you can't make SOPs. I'm hinting.
Getting that.
So because Gigi's profile is, because he manages investor relations and the platforms, whether it's Zomato, Swiggy, and all the financials, all the strategy behind. So he's doing a good job there. Hired the right guy. So I work in the kitchen. I work hands-on in operations. So whenever there's a complaint, see, your customers speak.
Yes.
And you have to listen to your consumers. Of course, you have to look at, between, if it's one person speaking out of 100 people, then you can ignore because you can't make everybody happy. But if there's somebody speaking on something, you have to listen. So I don't sleep without looking at the complaints. Every complaint, I look at it and then only I go to bed. So, and based on that, you figure out ye kyun hua, ye kaise hua, and then you're working in the kitchen, whether it's kitchen preparation time, whether it is, how you can make that product better, how you can make that product faster, how you can improve the quality, whatever. So when you're working with your own hands, and when you're working with your own eyes and your own ears and your own brain, then you just have to have that knowledge of how to make things better. Then, so this is how I started making SOPs, that this is the way I work. Not because I like it, because this works best in that situation.
Correct.
And then again, it's just that I feel that some people like to keep those secrets to themselves. Some people just want to keep, I do this very well and let me do it, and I don't want to share it. I've seen so many people like this. I meet so many people like this, where people just want to hold on to everything. So again, like I said, please don't get married. One marriage is enough. Your brand is more like a baby. So I was, I was just talking to Sadhana about it. So my logic is that, you bring up your baby and you teach your baby. You do everything with your child, and the child is very special to you. But you also let your child go. Not like go, he still loves you, he's or she is still your child, but a daughter will get married one day, your boy or son will get married one day. You will let that person love another person, right? So that is, your baby. So don't make your brand your husband or your wife, that you can't let it love or let it go to someone else. So whatever knowledge you gain, you try to put it on a pen and paper. Whatever complaints come, you try to work on the solution of it, and then you create SOPs, and then that book becomes like a Bhagavad Gita. And then you give that book to your, and of course training, and to your franchisee partner, and who would just take all the success learnings. He will not do the same mistakes what you have done. And he will just directly go to another point of success. And he will not only be successful for his own self or himself, but also for your brand. So, it is really important when people who want to scale up, they let go their learning and get it onto a book. We also make videos. There are 2 ways with which we help our franchisee partners learn what we have learned, follow what are the best strategies, what are the best practices, and then implement the brand and the food in the same way. Like, for example, when you eat a McDonald's burger in Dehradun or in Chennai, it tastes the same.
Yes.
So that is what we are trying, standardized taste, and that only can happen with, SOPs, which is standard operating procedures, and when you let your learning freely to the other guy.
True.
And what about the legalities? Like you need to have some contracts in place. So how did you sort that out?
Yeah, of course, in every business transaction there are contracts. With franchisee partners there are contracts. With our with all sorts of partners there is a contract. Whenever we actually share any of our, let's say, closed recipes, there is an NDA that comes in place. So all of those things they have to be part of the business.
Okay.
Not that they don't get misused in the world, but they do. But still, those need to be in the place to protect the business interest. Yeah.
Got it.
So I had this question in my list, but then Vineet touched it and you answered it very beautifully on SOP. But if somebody new is into planning of a food or a cloud kitchen or a chain kind of business, and if I may ask, what are those, there's so many things, so many systems, so many SOPs, but those top 5 topics or 5 categories, or any, not 5, like 3, 1, 2, whatever, like top categories, which has helped you from going from one outlet to multiple chains. Those SOPs, those category like, okay, अच्छा SOP बनाने बैठ रहे हो, ये categories तो बनाना ही है. So, things like that.
I think the first most important is standardization of anything and whatever you do. So the all 50 categories cover ho gayi usme. Because it's like your taste, your color, your texture, your smell, everything, it has to look the same. So whether and it should not really matter that you are making it or I am making it. So I think taste of food or the quality of food should not be compromised. That has to be the number one SOP for any food startup. The second is the SOP of handling complaints, because that will help you work backwards on a everyday basis. I think that is extremely important, to look at the complaints and then work backwards for your food starter, because then only you can know what is going wrong, and then you can find out why is it going wrong. So when I say the color, food, texture, it actually covers everything.
Largely.
It covers. Third is packaging. I think packaging, 50% of the review or the feeling of the customer is by the taste, but before he tastes, packaging is extremely important, especially in a delivery model. Because जब वो आपके सामने प्रोडक्ट आता है, तो अगर वो दिखने में अपीलिंग नहीं है, आप शायद उसे खाओगे भी नहीं. So this is any person from any background, any young, old, male, female, this is the mindset. जो मार्केटिंग में भी तो हम कहते हैं ना, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So दिखना बहुत ज़रूरी अच्छा है. So packaging is something. Please create SOPs for your packaging. I think out of 200 pages, मेरे ख्याल से 100 से ज़्यादा pages तो packaging पे ही हैं.
Oh,
So
see?
how
Look
you
at
have
this.
to package, how the tape. एक हमारा
Actually, in delivery, I'll add to that point, packaging, why it's important for us, because when you do delivery, it's reaching you in half an hour. The first thing that you see is not the food, is the packaging. And you see the packaging, you open the packaging, and then you get to see the food. So
True.
the first impression is the packaging.
Yeah.
So it has to be done well. Let's continue.
Yeah, no, same thing. So like for example, हमारे पराठा box में, it's such a funny thing, but everything we take care of. So like जो पराठा box के ऊपर tape है, you can put tape anyway ना. आप ऐसे भी tape लगा सकते हो, आप ऐसे भी tape, नीचे से ऊपर भी tape लगता है, ऊपर से भी नहीं. But there's a huge difference. So if you put the tape from ऊपर से नीचे, the gap is bigger for the air to flow. If you put the tape नीचे से ऊपर, it becomes tighter and firmer and the steam does not go out. तो जो मेरी वो होल्स की कैलकुलेशन है वो ख़राब हो जाएगी अगर आपने टेप ऊपर से नीचे लगा दी. तो you have to put the tape नीचे से ऊपर so that it's more
pressure,
tight.
yeah.
It's pressurized and the steam remains inside. So as small as that is being taken care of. Similarly, for example, in my paratha box, whether the butter will be on the front side or the back side. Now you put butter, you put pickle, you put curd, like you do it. सब डाल के भेज देते हैं ना कस्टमर को. We have an SOP that the butter will be always opposite and बीच में segregator आएगा to the paratha, because the paratha is hot. The butter will melt by the time the paratha will reach to the customer. So it's as simple as that. We take care of that minute detail of where the butter has to be kept, so that when the consumer is opening and is using the butter, he will not find liquid in it. So like that,
Lovely.
Yeah, so many nitty-gritties.
so
go
many
into,
nitty-gritties, yeah.
Building a brand, yes.
I think I'll add that, of course, that SOP, but the other thing which you talked, which I would want to add on top of it, is that you have to set your SOPs for ensuring that your staff is delivering what are they supposed to be delivering.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's not to say that that your staff you treat them like a slave. No, not at all. They are your business partners. I treat them as your business partners because you technically have a business contract with them. They are delivering their product, which is their services, and you are paying them for it. So you have to have your SOPs in place to ensure that your staff, which is your business partner, is delivering what they are supposed to be delivering. So have your SOPs in place to control, and you ensure that everything that you're expected to get from your staff is delivered. Otherwise, If that fails, eventually the larger business will suffer.
True.
So it's not so to say that you bound your staff, but there has to be mechanism in place by which you are actually able to monitor and
True.
measure and control your business partner, who is your staff's efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very
call
nice.
my staff like my family. So I more than a business partner. So we have this code word MOPP family. So आपका I treat, so my relationship with my staff is I am very strict at work, extremely disciplined because SOPs follow करना है. आपका like मैं उनको ये example देती हूँ. We don't do things what sir likes. We don't do things what ma'am likes. We do things what SOP says.
Very right.
So we have a poster. अपना दिमाग मत लगाइए, कृपया SOP का पालन करिए. So we have that poster
Very
in our
right,
office.
very right.
So we say कि जब हमारी नहीं चलती हमारी कंपनी में तो आपकी कैसे चल सकती है?
बिल्कुल.
तो and then of course I have so when it is up to SOPs I'm very strict, but otherwise I have a very nice relationship with my staff. It's more like a MOPP family, and now we say a Cuisina family.
True.
Yeah, otherwise how will you provide that kind of standardization?
Yeah.
जैसे आपको मैकडोनल्ड्स में एक ही बर्गर आपको मिलता है, कहीं से भी आप खाइए, वो इसीलिए because there was such a strong SOPs in place.
Yes.
So yes, you're
And that's the
absolutely right.
secret to scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Because अगर कस्टमर को एक अलग एक्सपीरियंस मिलेगा तो फिर वो
See,
may
in food, the thing which we must appreciate or understand is food scales not. Best food never scales. Just remember it. The best food would always be, अगर आपको बटर चिकन खाना है तो पंडारा रोड जाके खाना है,
correct,
and that butter chicken you will get there only
Yes,
because
yes.
it's the best. Let's say,
Yeah.
I'm just giving an
Got it,
example.
yeah.
So best food doesn't scale. Good quality, consistent food scales. So
Yes.
try to make good food, which is what we endeavor. We make good food, which is tasty, and it is consistent. If you go after making the best,
हो गया. True.
scale करना बहुत मुश्किल है.
Very right.
So I'll give you an example which got very beautifully said. So I had a staff and he said कि हम हर पराठे के साथ pickle देते हैं. मैं pickle बहुत अच्छा बनाता हूँ. वो लेकर आया मेरे लिए. He got pickle for me. And it was lovely pickle. I just loved it. I don't eat a lot of pickle, but imagine I loved it. So he said, we'll give this pickle and customers will love it. And I started, so we had a QSR where people could stand and eat and take away. And everybody loved that pickle. And then, it was so nice when Gigi and I were discussing, no, this is not the right strategy. How will we use this pickle for today? We are doing how many orders, and tomorrow, like now we do 30,000 plus orders only in Delhi NCR, and now we have 4 kitchens in Bangalore also, and we need, if we want to scale, we can't use his pickle, so we have to use a pickle which can be scaled across India or even outside India. So this is just to add on what Gigi said.
Very right. Lovely.
So what are few of the things that you did early, like in the beginning, that helped you scale without burning a lot of money? Because in the beginning, people don't have that kind of money. But like, what did you do to scale things up in the beginning?
So
फंडिंग तो बाद में आई है ना.
वो तो बात
पहले तो खुद के
वो जो शुरू का जो हसल होता है ना, that's what I want to know. आपने कैसे किया?
खुद जाके डिलीवर किया बहुत जगह.
Okay.
सच में.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
टेबल भी साफ किया है मैंने.
We were talking about that.
So I remember in the early first year and the second year, so we have this facility from one of the platforms where we can actually take orders and deliver ourselves. So during the rains, what would happen, and typically even now that happens, that when there is heavy rain, the riders would turn off and go home. So the platform itself, the number of listings go off. My brand will go off, even though my kitchen is online, but it will not show up because the riders are not there. So we would turn on the listing at that time. And when obviously there is less supply, demand is always there, right? People are still in their homes there, or they want to order, but the supply is less. When we would turn on, within a minute we would get 20-30 orders. A string of orders. So we would turn on for a minute or two and then turn off, prepare those orders and deliver it ourselves. She would take one
My
vehicle.
son has also delivered with me.
So and when we were doing that, when we were delivering ourselves, obviously there's a difference when a rider delivers and when we are delivering, right? So we try to build that connect. We speak to the customer and we ask them to review and all of that. So I think that initial hustle, it's a small example. Like that, there have been plenty. So which definitely would have helped. Definitely.
And anything in specific that you did in marketing initially? How did you market yourself initially?
We made people try our food. I think food is the strength in a delivery model. Because agar your food is good, then it's like, repeat orders will come automatically. So focus on your product, whatever your product is. If you have a long-term vision, whether it's cosmetics, whether it's fashion, whether it's food, if you focus on your product. So we did a lot of focus on, though we were completely bootstrapped, we did not take salary for us in the beginning at all. So like Gigi said, you have to have some bank balance and some backup for you to take care of yourself till your brand picks up, till your company picks up. So that bootstrapped approach helps. But if you focus on your product and you know your product is good, then automatically success will come. Automatically the money will come. But in the beginning, if you try to take the shortcuts, then of course you are playing with your own venture. Just don't forget that. So there are a lot of people who try to make money faster by taking shortcuts, by doing some hanky-panky stuff. For example, ingredients are very important in a food startup. So we know people who are in the food startup who would compromise on the ingredients or who will use duplicate ingredients. We have always ensured, obviously, just let's put 2 + 2 = 4. Thoda sa agar dimag lagaya jaye. He left everything what he was doing. I left everything what I was doing. We left our fancy, comfortable lives. So we are not here to run a single kitchen. Right? So we are not playing that shortcut game. So we never compromise on the quality of the products, the ingredients. We still don't do it because we know that we are going to make our future, our son's future, our family's future based on our product, our brands, our company. So we don't compromise a bit on the product, on the ingredients, on the hygiene levels, on the quality levels. So we don't compromise. So when we don't, because we know we have to make this big. So if we take the shortcut today, the vision is you're taking a risk with your vision. So keep your vision in mind, keep your mission in mind. Think of the bigger picture or the larger picture you have done this for. And not for today or tomorrow. That आज मुझे महीने में 2 लाख रुपए लेके जाने हैं या 1 लाख रुपए लेके जाने हैं. नहीं. Don't in entrepreneurship you should not look at today. You should look at tomorrow. So I'll just re-emphasize in entrepreneurship you don't look at today, you look at tomorrow. Because tomorrow is going to make your life.
Very nice. Very
Yes,
nice.
I agree. And since you spoke of ingredients, the latest paneer controversy. Yeah, everybody is scared of ordering paneer. So since you come from that industry, what do you think? Is it really that big a concern that we as consumers hear a lot of stories that paneer at most of the places is like fake paneer? So is that a real issue or is it just like blowing out of proportion?
I can't say for sure because obviously we don't go to other places, as in the kitchens of other restaurants, right? So, but this is definitely an issue. How much of an health issue, I don't know. Because I have, what my understanding of technicalities is, there are 2 types of fake paneer. One is something called analog paneer, which is made out of vegetable oil. But it is sold in the name of paneer. That's wrong. So the thing is, it's legal to be selling those analog paneers, but it should be labeled as analog paneer so that the customer knows it's not the milk paneer, the paneer which is called paneer. Now, whether there is also a fake paneer in the market, which is not even analog and made out of something else. That is something which I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But analog paneer has been used in the industry, and the wrong practice is that it is sold as paneer, which is wrong. I am not sure technically whether whether analog paneer is harmful to your health. But it is a product which is legally allowed to be sold in the market as long as it is labeled correctly and sold correctly. Paneer.
Sorry.
Yeah. So paneer is something which I would suggest to be on the safer side. If you look at a paneer which is very cheap, in most likelihood it is going to be analog paneer in the market. So always look at the price point as your benchmark, because analog paneer is available at 200 rupees a kg, while your real paneer in commercial market is 350 to 400 rupees a kg. So that's something which is just a benchmark for you to identify. Otherwise, it is difficult for anybody to say and identify how to differentiate between the two.
Because I think the people who will compromise and take lower quality ingredient is to play on the price, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the only thing what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
So for example, if we go on the street, like I was telling, elevating the street food into a hygienic,
Yeah.
organized segment, which is what we are trying to do. So because you get the parantha for 40 rupees on the road, but you don't know what oil is used.
Yeah.
You don't know what is the masala is used. Maybe they're using expired flour or an expired, or maybe the resold oil. So the benefit of ordering from a chain, from a brand who is at many places and not just going on the price, the benefit is that you know you're getting a hygienic product because the brand is working for a brand value and a brand image.
Yeah.
So like same thing, you get momos, even chicken momos you get for 25-30 rupees even today. So I don't know what kind of chicken is that. So like that, what kind of paneer is it?
Yeah.
So there are many varieties available. But a brand would never take that risk to use lower
That's a
quality.
short-term approach.
Yeah.
Short-term
Again,
approach.
if you notice, it's the same thing. Don't compromise your vision. Don't compromise your long-term picture. Of course, there are shortcuts. If somebody is working on a single outlet and they just want to make money from that outlet and they don't care whether it's unka brand bane ya na bane. So then they have a different approach and they want to make money and take money home every month.
Yeah.
Now today we are working to build the brand image.
Yeah.
We are working to build the brand value in terms of dollars or rupees. So a brand will never take this approach. So that is why I said that we or any brand who wants to be scale and go pan India or outside India will never compromise on the product.
Wow,
But other
lovely.
players will, or they may.
They might. Yeah.
See,
So you
actually,
have,
in food, price is one. Obviously, everybody loves a cheap product or a sasta product, but always there are risks associated with that. Right?
Nothing comes for
Because
free.
I'll tell you, we got approached by so many suppliers because it happens in every industry, right? For example, masalas, they get expired, right? And closer to the expiry or after expiry, they are sold at 10% of the original price. And how do you think that so many businesses are able to sell the same product, which is, let's say, priced at 100 rupee, but you get a same product for 30 rupees or 40 rupees? How is it possible? So I think there are such practices in the industry, but I think I don't want to blame food and beverage industry. I think such practices are there in every industry.
Yes, yeah.
Consumers, although nowadays are much more educated and much more informed, and with so much social media exposure, it's become easier, and it's become difficult for businesses to follow such malpractices, which used to be easier earlier. So things are becoming better. Yes.
And now I think so people know that if it's very, very cheap, something is wrong here.
Yeah.
I think people are educated, people are informed, and people are knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So you have more questions.
Yeah, I have
Oh, acha. So I know because I'm done, and I have a very nice thing to kind of sum up the stuff. But I would like if you have
Okay.
still more.
So I just want to know what are, like, if somebody is starting, what do you think first time entrepreneurs, when they try to scale up, where do they go wrong? Like, what are the
First,
most?
I think the problem with which I, in my experience, and again I'm speaking from my experiences, people start to think that my model is set and ready, and I am going to now scale. So while the nuts and bolts are still not tight.
Yes.
So the thing is, you tighten your nuts and bolts of every ops and every area in your business at a small scale, because it's easier to sort those issues at a small scale.
Yeah.
But if you scale too fast without tightening your nuts and bolts, then you have only amplified the problem for yourself. So the biggest lesson which I would tell, or a message that I would tell any entrepreneur, is that first fix your issues at a small scale and then multiply. Don't go in a haste to just multiply first and then you will look at the problems. You're only going to end up multiplying your problems by that stage.
True, very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have something to add there?
I usually tell the entrepreneurs my secret, as you know, I just share my secret of success, of being a successful entrepreneur. I call it my 3 Ps. So if somebody really does something which he doesn't have the internal liking for, the passion is not there, then that is a difficult game.
Yeah.
Because, for example, nobody has to push me or put a gun on my head to go to work. I'm internally driven. I'm excited every day to get up, go to work. And then even if I'm working till 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm all, energetic. Even though my body is tired, but mentally I'm, all into it. So but at the same time, it's very difficult to find passion and also the market need. There are terms and conditions. There should be a need of your product in the market, or it has to be a marketable or viable product. So if you can, match your passion with a product which has a demand in the markets, that's like a wow thing. Very few people get that chance. So if you get that chance, it's very good. But don't try to push yourself to do something which you really don't like. Then you will have to be pushed to work, the passion will not come, and then your venture will get compromised.
Yeah.
That is my first thing. The second, what I think is, patience. आजकल के जो लेटेस्ट entrepreneurs हैं, they feel आज बिजनेस शुरू किया, कल जो है मैं मल्टी मिलियनर बन जाऊंगा, अगर परसों तक नहीं बना तो मैं फिर छोड़ दूंगा. That's the third point, persistence. So the patience level of the new generation is so low. So I usually tell people, भाई मार्केट से जाके पेशेंस खरीद लो अगर मिलती है तो.
नहीं मिलती.
नहीं मिलती.
नहीं मिलती.
So second is, I think so, why people go wrong is because they're not patient. They just want to do everything so fast. Everything has to be step by step. For example, if we would have given the franchises after the Shark Tank opportunity, when we had hundreds and thousands of inquiries, probably we would not have been sitting here.
Yeah.
Kahin na kahin would, it would have
Diluted.
Our structure, our nuts and bolts were not tight at that stage.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's the point, right? So although the money is there on the table, but you don't want to make that suicidal.
Yeah, it's suicidal.
Yeah.
So and today we have reached that stage after so many years of, we came in season 2. So today we are in that position to give franchises of our brands to people. But at that time we were not ready. So you need to have patience. That and if you have patience, you understand your business, take that step by step, then ultimately success will come. And with that patience, you need persistence of not giving up. Because अभी तो क्या होता है, if somebody does not reach their targets, after 2 days they say I'm give up, ये वाला तो गलत business model चूज के अब मैं कुछ और करूँगा. So that is not the right approach.
In our journey itself, I think there have been multiple occasions where we would have discussed about what are we doing and why are we doing. Should we just
Challenging ourselves.
right? And so And if we had given up in any of those occasions, then we would not have reached here, right? So that is a big lesson that we have learned, because you never know that what's beyond that decision that you're going to make, right? Maybe something is just coming across which is going to turn things around for you.
Yeah.
So I'll just like my last question, and then Sadhana will have the last question. Like she'll wrap it up. So my last thing is that how do you market yourself? Like this is a business which is dependent on Zomato, Swiggy, those kind of platforms. So how do you do some marketing, some special kind of marketing?
So we were bootstrapped. We were not doing a lot of marketing. Whatever little marketing we were doing was with Zomato and Swiggy itself, which are the platforms. Now I think so. We've got funded.
Yeah.
We've got Cuisina's blessings on us. So we will definitely plan to do more marketing now. But till now, we haven't done any special kind. We want to. There are a lot of. I am a marketing person. My whole whiteboard is filled with marketing ideas, where it can help reach much more revenue figures than what we have today. But of course, to market you need, so we have the patience to do the right thing at the right time. And when you are bootstrapped, please don't waste a lot of money in just building your brand, because at that time your brand doesn't have a value. You have to focus on the product. So I think we did right. We focused on our product. That was the first priority. We have 60% repeat rate, so our product sells a lot with the word of mouth. Our product sells with a lot of repeat customer usage. Our product sells a lot in corporates. We do a lot of breakfast parties and tea parties, because the pakoras don't get soggy. So we have almost every Friday, we do team get-togethers with 70 portion pakoras, 90 portion pakoras.
Wow.
And we supply to corporates where they set it up, because it doesn't get oily, it doesn't get soggy, it remains crispy. They can enjoy their tea parties or team get-togethers with our pakoras and snacks. So I think it is, again, I would say the product has helped us market us. But yes, we would do some more marketing now.
Wow.
See, I'll add on top of this. What she said is actually right. So we have focused on building customer loyalty, which is the best form of marketing, which helps us gain more and more traction, right? There's a lot of businesses who actually spend a lot of money on marketing early on, and even to that extent that creates a lot of virality, right? So and that virality brings revenue, but it doesn't not necessarily bring in repeat customer or loyal customers, right? So once you stop spending, that virality factor will go, and you'll go back to that original number. I don't want to mention the brand name, but I recently read somewhere that there is a very popular beverage brand from the West, which has lost 90% of its revenue, only because for the first few years it was so viral, and that virality was selling. It was not the product itself, because the loyalty wasn't there. People were not repeating it. People were buying it only for virality factor, and that was confused as loyalty. So now you see the result is the business has lost almost 90% of the revenue. So it's more important at an early stage to build a loyal customer base than to spend on viral marketing and all of that. Of course, we have spent money on what we call it performance marketing, because my customer is actually looking for food on Zomato and Swiggy only, right? So it's the most relevant place for me to market my brand. So we have spent money to get some eyeballs, but only a limited amount of money to make sure we get some eyeballs, and then the food does its job. Then the food has to be good, so that the same customer who I've actually got through that spend is going to come back and order again. So we have not spent on virality, but we have spent on gaining customers base, which has become a loyal customer base.
So, as I said, I think if you see, all our answers are very similar, which is focusing on the product, and because we had a bootstrapped approach, so We just thought, let's try to
Yeah.
do more with less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think in this category especially, there's a lot of demand because of thanks to Zomato and Swiggy. So like currently there's a lot of demand, and if if somebody is starting, he can just focus on product and like you said, performance marketing on these platforms. I think that's enough for initial level, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And after you get some traction, maybe then you can think of
See,
Absolutely.
see the kind of the marketing that you're talking about, in my opinion, that's not technically marketing, it's rather branding. It's brand building expenditure. It doesn't convert directly into revenue
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
It helps you strengthen the brand,
Yeah.
and that works for you over a long period
Yeah.
of time, which we haven't done yet,
Yeah.
which is something which we'll start doing
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, see, brand building and marketing, the kind of marketing that I'm talking about is like it makes food being perceived as more tasty, more fresh, those kind of things that.
So I
that
think you're talking about the
subconsciously-
new entrepreneurs. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should just focus on the product
Yeah.
and don't waste a lot of money
Yeah,
on
yeah,
such
yeah.
Because
activities.
ultimately they'll not have money for more important things. if
They so they have to ensure that by till the time they're not drawing salaries,
Yeah.
they have enough money to take care of themselves and their family.
Yeah.
Basic thumb rule is at least 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basic.
Makes
At least 2 years. You have to be on your own. If don't expect a salary from your business.
Makes sense, complete sense.
And what I'm kind of realizing, and that's what there was a moment I said, I'm done with the questions. You know why? Because I mean, you got your podcast, your content primarily. I was just trying to decode and sleep over things. They all go back to basics.
Yeah,
It's all basics.
it's all basics.
Yeah.
Founders will
The
come in.
recipe
They
is
will.
in the basics.
Yeah.
I don't know
Founders
why
will
people
come in
keep
and they.
digging deeper into.
Yeah.
Correct.
Fancy language.
Fancy language and everything has been. People talk a lot about today's language like CAC. So many things which is all there, right? But in entrepreneurship, in business, if you really want to do it right, go back to basics.
Exactly.
Like you said, don't procrastinate. I mean, what a message. It's a message for me for a thing I've been procrastinating. Trust me. And she says passion. I mean, so right. If it's a passion, you're not going to drag yourself. And then it doesn't matter. You're not going to lose your patience. You're going to be persistent. So a very, very beautiful conversation, reminding everybody out there that jitna bhi glamour ho, real reality hai na, that goes back to the basics. That your content, everything that you guys have said is
No,
that,
I don't remember who said that very recently, that most successful businesses are those where the jobs are monotonous.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I've
talk.
heard
I
it,
don't
yeah.
remember who was an entrepreneur, but somebody said it.
Yeah.
Because if you talk about large scale businesses, big FMCG houses,
Yeah.
your Hindustan Time,
Yeah, Hindustan Lever. Yeah.
your Reliance,
Yeah.
your all those businesses are monotonous factory.
Yeah.
You go, you in the morning, you do your
Absolutely.
9 to 5 job,
Absolutely.
shifts, and production is happening, and they are the best business and the
Yeah.
safest bets in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah.
So I think that just brings in the point that core basics,
Yeah.
simplicity.
Simplicity.
Yeah.
That is the safest.
Yeah,
bet.
money making is very boring. I've heard this
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for making today. I loved it thoroughly. And
It was a very candid conversation. We just spoke from our heart.
Yeah. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed this conversation,
Same
and I think our listeners will get a lot of nuggets from this, like really rich conversation, because like real experience coming from two genuine people. So thanks for that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.